Netflix, nothing but down today. TSM, Seth. Yeah, looks good. I mean, you're going to get maybe 50 cents a dollar on the pop, but yeah, definitely looks great. Chart looks wonderful for that. Now, AVGO never made it over that line, right? TSM, nothing as well. NASDAQ's down now, red, 16 points. Not a big deal yet. I don't know. I mean, you would think somebody would be buying Netflix here. Let me see what the 95 means to the stock. Wow. Yeah, maybe, yeah, 90 or 95 right in there. Get a little bit of support. Yeah, I'm looking for one more trade here. Would be great for me. Just treading water here. I mean, it's slow and low, right? Slow and nothing happening really.
Except in NVIDIA. In
Yeah,
NVIDIA, everything is straightforward.
true.
Okay, guys. AMD start to, start pumping a little bit cash. 30 cents. Our key level will be around the dollar. Let me see just a second. WV. Let me see, Nick, just a second. What's going to be our advantage, Nick? What's going to be advantage? Well, basically very far. 15 was amazing one. You have everything there. 15, and even though I don't know where was the stop, to buy it at the high in this kind of market, yeah. Thank you, no thank you. No.
Yeah, AVGO is not going to happen, I don't believe. Mm.
I think we need to hang up the mouse, Scott,
Yeah, I think so
and
too.
find more things to do, like
Like
I would like
anything.
to have the second part of the day, but right now and the more we get into the lunch, I'm not taking and I'm not taking nothing, to lunch. Like where the market is going. Okay, so the market is weak, but it's not radically. When you see some stock are like Nvidia, high, AMD, MU. So I don't know. When you don't feel comfortable, you should not trade. So yeah, it's part of the thing. We're coming to work. If there's no work, yeah, we should not work. Scott, did you went once to a tuna feed to fish a tuna, a big tuna?
Yeah, that's one of my goals is to catch a big tuna on my own boat. So,
Really?
yeah, you have to go out a little ways because you got to get
I
into
know, I
deeper,
know,
cooler water.
I
But
know.
where we live, it's always a possibility because it's
In your area, I thought in the area, the other side of the bay.
the
I
other side.
thought in
Yep,
it like North Carolina. You go there or something, no?
yep, that's very true. So the water's deeper and colder there, but we
Yeah.
still have that here. We can still get offshore, 50 miles or so, 80 miles, and then it gets cooler and it gets deeper.
You have the equipment
No,
okay, yeah.
mm-mm. All I have is just inshore fishing equipment really now.
Okay. What's the issue with Netflix? Because of the Warner Brother? This is why.
Yeah, I think the continuation of that, sure. There goes LITE again. I think it'd be worth it to here to buy some LITE, really,
LAT. Right.
although it broke the low. So,
Oh, it's negative now, no?
yeah, it is, yeah.
They did a nice strategy. Brought it above so people come and then kick them out. Really nice, huh?
Yep.
Really nice. What the volume was? Not a huge volume, on the bars go down. Not a big volume.
Yeah, every time I look at it, buying that dip on LITE worked out. are getting worse now, down 230 on the Dow, 62 on the Nasdaq. I'm red today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of the red actually today. There goes LITE now. I think it's too much of a risk. Traders, I think I'm done. I don't think I'm going to sit here and waste any more time looking over the markets when I'm not taking any trades. And I don't really see much more upside here to the trades, not much more upside to the market. If I was to take a trade, probably be LITE over the 331. But other than that, that's all that I have. I want to thank Amir for joining me this morning.
Thank you,
Amir,
Scott.
thank you so much. Don't know what the rest of your week is like, but we'll be here and appreciate you stopping by.
No problem. Thank
And
you.
I'm going to have a red day today. I'm going to open up the week red. Kind of unusual. Usually on a Monday, I start things off pretty good, but not today. And I will come back later on today, prior to 4, and we'll check back in, see what's going on, and kind of roll from there. So everybody have a great night tonight, great rest of your day, and I'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning on a Tuesday. Amir, thanks again, my friend. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Clifton,
Bye
and
bye.
thank you to the rest of the traders. Take care.
Bye, traders. Have a great day.
Good afternoon, Portugal Trade Nation. Still have people in the room? Can you guys hear me out there? If not, no worries. Hear you, hear you. All right, Rick. Right on. Guys, good to see you. Well, obviously a ton of information flowing around. Hopefully you guys were able to trade well with Scott this morning. I posted a couple trades on Netflix and Meta earlier today, but Meta now kind of consolidating. I'll probably dump that in a minute. But Netflix looking good. Obviously a lot of hype over this merger, acquisition, whatever you want to call it, of Warner Brothers, and they're duking it out with Paramount, Skydance. Obviously, Trump getting involved as far as just adding some additional commentary about potential antitrust concerns over Netflix buying Warner Brothers. However, they were the first to bid, and you saw what happened yesterday. I was interested in it at 98. So when I saw it this morning down at 95, I'm like, you know what? I'll take a shot. So stop will be literally at the low of session today. Looking to get, I don't know, 97 and a half to 98 bucks. The first partial, about a point away from that. I'm watching Amazon here, kind of consolidate here at the lows. It's definitely moving lower. Probably some of that has to do with the streaming media, we'll say. CRM missed my short today. I've been wanting to short that ever since they had earnings, and got ran over a couple times there, so I was a little reluctant to short that today. I was looking at it around 262 and a half with some resistance at 264, and sure enough, we hit 264.28 and came barreling down. So unfortunately, didn't get a chance to trade that one today, but definitely keeping an eye on that. CRWV get a nice bounce off the bottom after offering some convertible notes, essentially trying to raise capital, $2 billion worth of a convertible debt offering, which has an impact on shareholders, no doubt. But I think a lot of that initial move kind of came through pre-market. Now we're kind of filling that fair value gap at the moment on CRWV. So I'll keep an eye on that to see if we get some positive momentum. I might have missed that. So if we're going to pull back down the VWAP around 82 and a half, I might get interested in starting a long position there. Tesla slowly selling off here down to that 436 print. Maybe we get a bounce in this 436, 437 area. So I'll be keeping an eye to see if we get a bounce there as well. Not trying to go uber ultra trend here, but let's note, I mean, the SPY was literally less than 1% away from hitting all-time highs. And obviously we're leaking a little bit today, which is fine. And we've got some big news this week. I'm sure Scott already shared what that looks like, so I don't need to repeat it. But looking around right now to see if we actually get a bounce on these levels on the SPY and the Qs. I don't know if it'd be a dead cat bounce or if it'd be a bounce worth buying, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. Overall, Oracle is going to be reporting this week. AVGO also reports this week, in news that Microsoft actually sold off their division or plans to AVGO. To move all of its custom chip business over to Broadcom. And so as a result, you see Broadcom moved nice up. Pre-market kind of sold a little bit. People probably take its profits. And then, of course, you saw the move on Microsoft. I do like Amazon here, 227 and a half. So I may initiate a position here. Let's get started on this. Amazon long here. I'm just going to do a market order here. Okay. 227 and a half. Be a small nibble. See if we get a bounce around this area. Watching the Qs slowly aim lower. And I won't add to Netflix. I'm already full share size, but I'm tempted to add over 96.70 to see if we get a push to 97 and a half or so. But Amazon will go ahead and give this a start. WVE is giving it back. I don't know what that is, Nick. Let me see. Is that a stock you guys were trading earlier? Yeah, bioscience is doing pretty good. I think cross sectors today, just look more broadly at, for those guys using your heat maps, realistically kind of red all over the place with a few exceptions in the tech space. Again, hence why I'm thinking a little bit more rotation in some of these tech names. So why I'm interested in names like Amazon. I keep my entry is near the lows. Stop is at the lows or just maybe 10, 15 cents below it. And we're starting with a small share size. So it doesn't really matter. If we do get down there, give back a few bucks, but nothing major. Netflix, however, could hurt me. I definitely want to see it move. I was contemplating taking a partial the second time it got up to 96.5. Kind of kicking myself for not doing it, just taking a point off the trade, but we shall see. I'm only up about 50 cents on that trade at the moment, so we'll wait. Maybe we get a little bit of a hop here. What are you guys watching? You watching Marvell? Let's look at Marvell real quick. MRVL. Maybe a sympathy. Ooh, big pop on Marvell. Okay, so we got some news here. Interesting. That's a big pop. Maybe we take it here. Let's wait for a slowdown a bit. 91.30 would be interesting. Kind of 50% on this big igniter candle. I'll put it out there. 91.40 if we can get filled on Marvell. Great. If we don't, that's okay too. You might wonder why you just pull 50% on that igniter candle, and that's where I'd want to get involved. And if I can't, that's okay too. I'll wait for Amazon to get around 228, maybe 227.95 or so before I add. No trade on Marvell, guys. If you got in there, congrats. Good call out, Nick. Amazon aiming a little lower here. It's again small share size. So if it does take out the lows, we'll give about 15 cents below that. See if we get a bounce around there. Let's call it like 227. Like 20 cents. It's okay. It's a very small position, so I don't really mind. Getting a little concerned about Netflix. The consolidation right now looks like a coil aiming to the downside while the Qs just broke the session lows. So getting a little bit concerned about my Netflix position here. No trade Marvell yet. Let's pull Baby Joe real quick. Yeah, Oracle surprising sell-off here before earnings. So it's kind of interesting. Baby Joe holding that 400 print pretty well. For now. Let's see if we get filled on Marvell. 91.40, guys. Let's go. Let's go. It's sitting out there. Got the 44. Amazon looking gross. Come on, I was off by 2 cents, guys, on this pullback, Marvell. You gotta love it. I'm actually gonna move it down a bit. 91.28. 91.28. Just updated my entry on Marvell. If we don't get filled, fine. I just don't like the fact that we should have come back, tagged 50%, and ripped, but it hasn't done that yet. Meanwhile, Q's Inspire aiming a little lower, so be cautious here. $91.28, guys. We're waiting for the entry. Marvell just dropped to 91.41. Let's see if we get a little bit of a scared sell into that 91.28 print. Let's see. Might actually even use options on this one. No way. They're too expensive. I'll stick with the shares. Thanks. Here comes the rollover on CRWV. Could be an interesting short, possibly. We'll see. Anytime a company's offering those convertible notes, it usually means they need cash and they need it quick. The only backstop for CRWV is NVIDIA, so that's the good news. Come on, Marvell. You're almost there. 91.28. Let's do it. Almost. Almost. Nick, this trade will be for you, my friend, if we land it. Do I just get in here? Got to that 40 print. Don't tell me it's going to bounce here now. That'd be a perfect technical setup there. Amazon might give up on this trade. We'll see. Need to see a pop on it here pretty soon. Same with Netflix. I might trim this and just go half share size. Not a big winner. At least take down some cash on the day. A little late to the party for me. Fashionably late, we'll say. How'd you guys do today? Curious. And where did you find good trades? Come on, Marvell. 1 cent away, guys. With the 91.29. That's funny. Come on. Come on. It's a small position either way, but still. Amazon limping lower. Trying to be patient on Marvell. Didn't get filled so far. I'm going to cancel it if we move any higher. So I'm not going to chase it on the way up, but now it looks like a nice setup. So if you get over that candle right there was like 92.29, this thing should break out. I might dump the Marvell position even if it gets down there, because now if it comes back down, I'd be concerned that it sells back down to 89 bucks. So I'm going to close out Marvell, cancel. For me, no filled on that trade, but it was a good call out, Nick, because now we should get that breakout. So maybe some of you guys had a chance to hop in there a little early. That 91.40 was a good level, and well, I wanted a little bit more, and we didn't get it. We missed it by 1 penny. So now I'm not gonna just cancel that trade. Still an Amazon trade. I might add at my initial entry at 227.50 if we kind of go up with some force here. Watching the Qs, trying to bounce right into the 55 SMA. Guys, Marvell should rip here. Look at this 92 print. And silly Netflix. Sucks. Oh well. Just trying to go a little counter trend in case, maybe they got some good news in the midst of the day. It seems like they're really reporting highly on this with Paramount, Skydance, PSKY, for those of you guys wondering what ticker that is. That's up 9.6%, while Netflix is down almost 4.5% coming into my entry here. So I might dump it if we break that session low. Unfortunately, give back about 25 cents or so. I'm not going to hold on to this thing because it has room all the way down to 93.62. It's a level I have marked on Netflix as a potential next leg lower if it just continues to sell off. And the concern is it's rejected this 96.50 a few times now. And Amazon, if it gets 227, I'll dump it. It'll just be a market exit, so a few bucks there. Not too big of a miss. And I'm tempted to get call options. In fact, let's pull those up right now on the SPY. Why the SPY? Well, it means people could be moving more towards defense than some of these risk-on assets. Let's look at the 683 call options. I like it. They're about $1.90 right now. Let's buy a few of those. Okay, we'll wait here. There's $1.87 now. That looks good. Need to see the SPY turn slightly green here. We'll get involved. Okay, we're in the call options on the SPY. Those are 683s that expire tomorrow. Let's see where we got filled. Started off with only 5s. We got $1.89, so whatever. Close enough. Amazon, let's do it. I'm only going to add like another 25 shares here in case we turn around. There goes Marvell. We see this is the trouble now. If you keep an eye, I have Marvell up on the screen. Thanks, Nick, for calling it out. But so if we would have got filled now, my concern is we drop below the VWAP into this 189.80 area like it's doing now, and we would have got hosed. So it's like a false breakout. You see what I mean? Like, because I missed my entry in that push, that was the test. Can it still break out? Sure. You know, markets turn around, why not, right? But the concern now is because it gave out this big push out of nowhere. I don't know if that was just shorts covering and then selling continues, right? So that's probably what happened. We had shorts that covered, got a huge push higher. People started buying into that push, and then the selling still continues on you know, whether it's CTAs or people just trying to get out of the position. Now it's validating that if it breaks the VWAP, there's a high likelihood it moves lower. So glad we canceled that trade, but at the same time, it's a perfect example of a false breakout potentially. Can it move higher? Sure, but there's probably more higher level probability at least to test the VWAP at 90.55 in and around that area before potential bounce. Otherwise, who knows? It could continue to sell off here, considering the average volume on it's about 19 million a day. Right now, it's about 23 million on the day for Marvell. The big reason too is, you know, they weren't added to the S&P after all. So no need to get involved now. That thing should go see the lows of the day. False breakout. Gross. Trap a bunch of people. Hopefully you got to see that too. Live action. We got to see that Marvell trade as to why a plan helps, right? Big pop, pullback, breaks the 50% retrace, completely bearish engulfs that initial igniter candle. That'll tell you one thing, and that means the bears are not done selling. If it gets above that 92 bucks, though, yeah, bulls might show up and just say, yeah, we want this thing to pop higher, because they might be stuck at 98 bucks at the close and then get a chance to get out. Keep an eye on that. All right, if Amazon doesn't get above 227.50 where I can add another 25 shares, I won't add it, and I probably will dump this position. Same with Netflix. It's not looking great. We're only up like 30 cents. And this thing can easily snap down to 93 bucks in a blink of an eye, considering same concept. 43 million is the average volume in this stock per day. We're up at almost 57 million, which mostly is to the downside, full sell volume. Only reason we got involved is 95.50. Heck, I wouldn't mind holding this for a while. However, I won't hold it in my long-term portfolio until, you know, like I said, it gets down to 93. Maybe it goes to 89. Maybe it goes to 78. The cheaper it gets, the more interested I might get into it, you know, for a long-term play. Let's look at NVIDIA. Happy to have money back in my pocket on that. Cool. Yeah, and again, it's waffling around now. You see it bouncing around and stuff. Like, that's the danger of this, because it's not super spready, but the liquidity is maybe not there on Marvell. I'd have to double check. Meaning shares available. So if you got involved, can you just dump them on a market order, and how far would your spread be? Right now it's only about 9 cents, 13 cents, but on a $91 stock, that's pretty significant. You know what I mean? Just pull up the video real quick. Yeah, it's holding this 183 area pretty well. 184.55, big level overhead. Again, because the Qs are still aiming lower, it would be a kind of a 50-50, Vincent. You know, cue the disclaimer, it's your money, do what you want with it. It's holding up right now on the 200 EMA, but it is below the VWAP. So, you know, your stop would have to be what you have to take into account. You know, if you're looking for 1-to-1, maybe, because you've got what 182.41 was the close, and you'd be looking for at least a point overhead at 184.55. So you'd have to see some strength in the Qs and the SPY. Only reason, again, I think that the SPY has a better chance is A, it's only 1% away from its all-time high. That's number one. Number two, it includes a lot of defensive names that are outside of these, tech high alpha names. And on the one hand, for us traders, you typically want to see the Qs lead the SPY. As of late, we've seen the SPY lead the Qs, which tells me obviously breadth in the market is there, which is a good thing if you're just an overall investor. Trouble being that the likelihood of selling in the Qs go higher, in other words, tech, which we've seen actually today. So can it be inverted? Sure. But if people are going to take profit somewhere, especially with the news coming this week, where do you think they're going to take it first? Right? If they've been building positions in defensive names that are involved in the S&P 500 that are more prone to distributing like coupons, right, or dividends, right? Most of those names are going to reside in the S&P over the Qs. Make sense? Like right now, that's the reason I have only 5 call options on the SPY, because I want to see the SPY push into these rate cuts to see if we can get to all-time highs. And if they don't, I have 5. So like right now I'm down $3. Like it doesn't, I'm not going to panic over $3. You know what I mean? All going back to everybody has a different risk profile, no doubt about that. So trade what you're comfortable with. But that's at least kind of what I'm looking at. I do want to see at least a bounce into half the fair value gap right now, which like say, for example, the Q's 624.54 is a level there. And then if you look at where the SPY is currently, there's a few overhead areas I want to see it tag before tanking or moving higher, which is 683.73. Hence the reason I chose the 683 strike price. We're at it right now. 682.97 was a high volume area about 3 days ago. So keeping an eye on that and seeing if we're staying above it like we are now. Hopefully we get a push up to that 683.73, which will show some bullish follow through potentially. Fingers crossed, right? But we are down, what is this? About 0.3% on both the SPY and the Qs at the moment. Hey, look at that. We're up $56 on the 5 call options. And Amazon, I may hold off until I get a confirmation over 227.70 to add. So right now, that's pretty ugly consolidation near the lows. At this point, I'd be okay with dumping it. But if we pop and get over that 227, let's call it 227.70, I'll add those extra 25 shares. Nothing too crazy. Only big position I'm holding on to at the moment is Netflix. We got about a little over 1,000 shares. See what happens. And I'm tempted to trim it at that, being up only like 40 cents. You know what I mean? Some would argue, oh, it's $400. That's great. No, I didn't get into the trade for $400. I wanted to get to like $98, and clear like a couple $1,000. And we are, by the way, worth noting, we are coming into like wrapping up the lunch session into the afternoon session. Around 2 o'clock is where we should see some fireworks. Worth noting though, around 105, I've been noticing some additional volume show up in these markets in the last few days. Cue the disclaimer, do your own research. All right, I'm gonna get rid of Marvell. Let's look at something else. What else are you guys watching? Watching Hood earlier today. Look at that move on Hood. Jeez. Just looking around here. MSTR could be interesting. Maybe. Walmart's down 2%. Uh-oh. Costco, what's that then? Down, yeah. Decent sell-off in SanDisk today as well. What's Taiwan Semi doing? Ooh, that looks kind of good. ASML, maybe. Hmm. ASML's right in like a 50-50 area. Do I short it or do I go long? I'll hold off on that one. Let's look at Google real quick. Yikes, Google. People taking that money off the table. And if Amazon breaks 227, I'll dump this small position here. Let's see. Nice little bounce here on Oracle. But look at NVIDIA now. Down to that 183 print. We'll close at 182.41. Notice the candle that bounced. What was the low of that? Let's see. 182.40. Is that right? Yeah. So it went a penny under yesterday's close. Or Friday's close, I should say. Well, we were up 50 bucks on those 5 call options. Now we're down 13 bucks. Oh no. Let's see. What else, guys? I do like CRWV right now. Netflix, that's gross. That looks really gross for Netflix, like it's gonna fall into the ground. No. Put out some fake news right now. Netflix is amazing. They're gonna win. Boost the market. Boost it up to 150 bucks. Slow, slow, slow. All right, we should get a pop here, guys. There we go. Here comes the SPY. See if we get a push here now to 683.73 will be the first little gap I want to see filled. I want to see if we continue to push higher. If we don't, that's okay. But that is the next stop we should be at least aiming for on the SPY. Same principle on Amazon 227.70. In fact, here, let me put it out there for the ad. Hold on a second. Okay. Small ad, 227.70. If we can get up there, hopefully don't tag it and then drop, because that would suck. But that's okay. I kind of like it here now, CoreWeave, Rick. Trouble is, it's like, again, because they raised $2 billion in convertible notes, that's basically saying, hey, we don't have cash, we need it, right? And so that's hence the big sell-off that we saw in the pre-market. But it is, let's not forget, backstopped by NVIDIA. So is there room for it to move higher? It's still got its deal with Stargate. It's still, you know what I mean? Like there's still a lot of good stuff happening. The trouble is like now, given how much it's, I call it a beta stock, right? Meaning it can move $20 out of nowhere, right? Like almost like a meme stock, right? But it looks good because it's consolidated at the VWAP and the 200 EMA. So if you're running the 200 EMA on 1 minute, you take a look at it, they're like convergent, right on the same exact target right there at the VWAP. And now it's proving it wants to move a little bit higher. The trouble is, does it get over to these levels where we saw almost like at the open, right? It was 84.08 or so, 84 bucks. Do we see it sell there? Which it easily could do. And if it sells off there, then you're looking at, you know, make it drop to $82 in the blink of an eye. So cue the disclaimer, obviously, but you know, if you're not already in it, you're kind of you're trying to take this turnaround trade and push over at least the pre-market bounce, which is 85, 82, and it totally could happen. So, you know, trade with caution there. I liked it right at the VWAP there at the 200 EMA. It was 50-50. Like it could easily have tanked to the downside and or move higher. So directionally, we're seeing, you know, SPY's trying to pull up, Qs are trying to pull up. CRWV doesn't necessarily follow those very closely, but because it's in the tech space, it might get a little bit of love. We'll see. I like Hood though. Hood looks like it's gonna break out any second now. I'm tempted to take it. Problem is, big level I have overhead, 13684. We're at 13641. So maybe it boom shoots up to that area and then sells. I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it. This is trouble. Like trading midday, the only good news is you can be a little more patient when you're trading midday. That's why typically I'm out by 11 because most of the volume is done. And then of course in the afternoon session, right around 3 to 3:30, you can kind of get a better idea of where things are going to reside for the day. And then it's your choice if you want to take advantage of a move up, down, left, or right. But right now, like Hood could easily tag its high of session, which I don't think it will. I think it's going to push. Cue the disclaimer, right? But if it does push, 13684 was an all-time high at one point. And so if it gets there and then starts to reject and the markets reject, we could see things start to roll over a bit. So still no ad in Amazon, guys. It's sitting up there at 227.70. If it takes it, awesome. There goes the push on Hood. Literally, we spoke about that one live. Hopefully you guys were watching that. There it is. Boom. Straight up. Keep it on at 13684. If we get above that with some force, yeah, maybe it starts to break out even further. But some good news on Hood today. Let's see. Let's see how good my charting is. Where did we hit? 13687 before we found some sellers. If 13684 becomes a footing, this thing can easily keep blasting off. Ta-da! Ah, Hood. Anybody take that? Almost got my extra ad on Amazon. We'll wait. It's like right there, 1 penny away. Come and get it. Come and get it. Keep an eye on the SPY, guys. 183.73 next overhead target realistically. If we get above that and we start aiming towards the VWAP, well, congratulations, folks. We might be on a journey to all-time highs that are residing up at 689.11 on the SPY. 689.70 is official print, but I have it at 689.11 for where it will coincide with the actual SPX futures. I should tag about 7,000 in and around 697 on our side that we would see on the spot. Maybe 698. That could change, right? Subject to change. Guys, look at this hood breakout. Boom. Kicking myself a little bit there. Mark looking at WVE 1728. Should bring some heat. Let's keep an eye on that. It's not a stock I would normally trade, but good luck. Yeah, the Oracle trade looked nice over 219.50, but that's pretty crazy, guys. Amazon, no ad. It was sitting up at 227.70. We got to 227.69. Still sitting out there. That's the importance of keeping an eye on your charts. Hood looking amazing. CRWV also looking amazing. Tagging that 84.04, 84.08 that we saw earlier. It should start to take off, maybe even take out pre-market like that mid pop at 85.70 or so. Again, that's optimistic, given the fact that these markets seem to be selling into any strength. So be careful. Hey, look at that. We're up $111 on these call options on the SPY. We'll see if we get a little more. I don't care if we break even. Today's not a day I'm looking to, unless Netflix can take off, awesome. But we had a few red days last week, so I'm just taking it easy here and had a late start today, so don't want to force a trade. Guys, keep an eye on Hood. Do we come back and tag 136.84 and hold? If we do, there could be some more upside to that trade. Starts to break that level, maybe we see a pullback. Okay, here comes the SPY, guys. Big candle coming. There's some volume. There's some volume. NVIDIA getting a spike here, guys. I don't see any news, but there's a big spike on NVIDIA. It just ran up 184.10. Vincent, did you take it? Watch the Qs, guys, popping. Here comes a push on the SPY. I saw the volume loading up on the SPY, and then I just looked over at NVIDIA, and man, this thing, 184.55, as advertised. Ran into that level, and look at, what did it get to? 184.66. Now we're seeing some selling, which people are just taking profit at that level. Why? It's key level. Keep an eye on it. Guys, SPY now pushing right up to the 200 EMA. Just popped over the 183.73 target we talked about. Let's see, Amazon, baby. We just got our little ad. Yeah, these are baby-sized positions. Why can't Netflix do the same thing as NVIDIA, please? What is going on here? Hood with the breakout. Beautiful move. CRWV, beautiful move. Q's now stepping up. Look at this. Look at this. I don't see any news anywhere. You guys see anything? Bull's just coming in like, that's it. We're going for the all-time highs. Let's go. Let's go. That's why we grabbed those call options, y'all, on the SPY. Let's see if we can get above 684.60. That's a huge move on NVIDIA, guys. Taking out the session highs nearly. Wow. Okay. Kind of one-sided. I'm looking around. I don't really see a ton of other movers like that. Wow, what's going on with NVIDIA? There's got to be some news. Why am I not seeing this news? What in the world? Look at it go. It's at 186 now. And Vincent, you called it, man. Are you in? Did you nail it? Good for you, man. Heck yeah. Awesome. It's that 1-to-1. Now you're getting that 2-to-1. Let's go, man. Good for you. Meanwhile, I'm in these limping trades here. Oracle moving up nicely. Guys, let's keep an eye on the SPY and the Qs here. Again, we talked about the Qs at 624.54, big level. And then, of course, this 684.05 on the SPY. If we can hold that as some footing, maybe we get a pop here, but I'm going to take a few of my call options and bank them. Why? Because why not? Let's see, 243. I'll wait. This candle looks nice. We'll wait. Maybe we get a pop here, guys. Come on. Come on. Go, go, go. There goes Amazon. Yeah, baby. Netflix. Yeah, baby. All right, taking some off of my call options here on the SPY. Why not? Let's bank some of that. We're up like almost $300 on it. So I'll take it. 30% gain. Yes, please. Yes, please. All right, let's see if we can get a pop here on Amazon now. I don't think it's going to look like Nvidia, but man, that would be sweet if we got to like 228. That would be amazing. I don't know if it's going to happen. I really wanted like 229.07. Geez, look at Nvidia, guys. Oh, what is happening? Vincent, what are you? You're like an oracle, man. You're calling these trades. The other day you were actually calling oracle, and they got a nice pop to the upside. Very nice on Nvidia, Vincent. Okay, we just tagged the VWAP on the SPY, just short of it on the Qs. We took some off. But now we're seeing, guys, look at Hood. Anybody take that trade? That was a perfect setup. Why haven't we talked about it? Been up like 1.5 points right now. Instead, I'm just hanging out with Netflix. I'm not Netflix and chilling. I'm Netflix and sad right now. What is this? What do you guys think Wednesday? Are we going to get the cut, or do you think we're going to get a no cut, or do you think we're going to get a hike? That would be a fun one. If we got a hike, could you imagine? After Jerome Powell's last speech, I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Talking about admiring basically Volcker's position back in the day. Oh, Amazon. Lame. CRWV. Rick. I don't know if you took that one. That looked good. And Netflix, man, this is I'm gonna have to trim, I think. This is not good. Commerce is to open up exports of NVIDIA H200 chips to China. There's your NVIDIA news, folks. Headline. Wow. Wow. That could be great for NVIDIA. So remember, even in their earnings, if you guys recall, with their blowout numbers, zero consideration of that blowout number forecasted any revenue from China. So think about that. They like blew their number. I think, what was it, like 60% or something wild. I can actually look. Let me see. Pull it up. Now I'm curious. Please hold. There we go. Earnings. So they beat earnings by $2 billion or 3.8%. EPS 3.2%. So they just absolutely smashed earnings, and in those earnings they forecasted $0 from China. So this export for H200 chips could be a very, very good thing for NVIDIA shareholders. I'm watching a pullback maybe to 184.55 to get involved. We'll see. The SPY and the Qs are still pretty weak, so not loving this Amazon trade as much anymore, nor the Netflix trade. I've been holding on to it all day, and I'd be at this point, I'm either going to make 1,000 or lose 1,000 on this thing. It feels like. and Amazon rolling over. All right. I might give up on the Amazon trade, guys, here in a moment. Yuck. Turn around, gets my ad, and then dumps. I'm mad at you, Amazon. I'm not going to be ordering anything from you guys for Christmas. It's not true because I already did my shopping on it. No, guys, Hood, amazing. You're long already, scared you took a big loss really. Oh, okay. I don't read. You mean like you were long CRW earlier, or you're still in from earlier? Guys, Oracle right at the VWAP could be interesting because they report this week. CRM is the, I took a couple lumps on that one last week after earnings, and really upset to see it pull back today, and I didn't take part in that. A little bit of a revenge trade, or a give me back my money trade. I don't know, man. I'm kind of interested in NVIDIA, even up here at these highs, but I don't know. I don't want to pay $36 for it. Hood, though, guys, what a breakout. We talked about that live. It's up at 138 now. Anybody take that trade, Hood? Hats off to you if you did. I was watching that one going, Well, guys, Netflix, what do you guys think? Trim or just hold out? It's getting no love. Q's moving higher, SPY moving higher. It's just flat on Netflix because of all that Paramount, Warner Brothers nonsense. Let me look at the options on NVIDIA real quick. Maybe I'll get some of those for the 190. Or maybe 185. They're cheap. Geez, they're $4. I don't love that. Let's see. Oh, Netflix. I might have to just break even on this trade. That stinks. All right. I'm going to go for it with options on NVIDIA. 190 strike Friday. I'm not getting a ton of them. I'll start with like 10. Yay, NVIDIA. Should rip now. Let's go. And Netflix, guys. I'm up like $100 on it right now. Wah, wah. NVIDIA, baby. Options looking great. Let's go. 190 strike. Let's see if we get a rip now. Tell you, that's big. That's big money for NVIDIA potentially. The fact that you can ship chips to China now. Totally late to that party, but that's okay. We're taking advantage of it. We're making money. Woo! Did we just hit 187? We sure did. 187 on NVIDIA. Vamonos. I see, Rick. Right on. You got out. We got back at 82.50, not 83. Okay, cool. NVIDIA, baby. Options working, baby. Yes, yes. Too bad I can't get that kind of move on my Netflix trade. Womp womp. Well, now I just wait. Look at this. I'm all premium now on these call options for NVIDIA. Yes. Looking fantastic. Should have nailed this thing for like 300 of them. Guys, watch the cues. There's some volume stacked up behind it. We might get a spike over the close and turn green on the day. How convenient, some news like an NVIDIA stock to then try to push all-time highs. How about it? Look at Oracle now too, off the VWAP. I don't know if anybody took that trade. Another call out that would have been nice. Here comes Amazon. Finally. Finally. Okay, I'm going to probably take some off these call options for NVIDIA because, man, we are up. Nice. 24%. We'll wait and see if we take out the top here. One more second. Come on, more green, baby. What's its all-time high? 212? All right, let's wait a little bit. Maybe we get 188. 188, I will be taking some off these call options, guys. Unless we just blow right through it and it, you know, turns into 189. Totally can. Wow, what a move, guys, on NVIDIA. Holy smokes. New highs coming? Yes, please. Anybody in this trade with me? Man, that just made my day right there, that NVIDIA trade. I really need Netflix to get to like 97.5 for me to be like happy with that trade. All right, guys, taking some off these call options for NVIDIA. Yay. Made 62%. Huh. I have a feeling, guys, 2026 will be the year of my options trading for sure. I'm just a little more reluctant on, like, you know, taking like 500 call options or something wild like that. You know what I mean? But man, if I did on something like that, it would have cost me, let's see, what was my entry? 2. So we could have got them for 203. I bought 100 of those. What would that be? $20,000 bucks, and it'd be up right now 45% on that. So you can do the math on that. That'd have been a huge trade. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm learning. It's okay. Now Netflix, please take off to $98. Amazon making me go to sleep over here. I'm going to dump it, guys. This is just not doing what I want it to do. I don't have the patience for it. I'll find something else so I'm not having my eyes glued on it. We'll wait. We'll give it 20 more seconds. If it moves any lower, Amazon, done with you. Still in the Netflix trade. Incredible. All right, let's look around. What else we got? Man, there's some weight on the cues today. 624.54. We talked about that level when we were at these session lows on the cues. We popped up there. Now we're stuck right in that area. So the question is, are we going to turn positive on the day, guys? What do you think? 1, if you think we're going to be positive on the day or we're going to stay down. That'd be a 2. So 1 for green on the day, 2 for red on the day for the SPY and the Qs. What do you guys think? For those of you guys still here with EVG. Dan saying 1. Adamir. He's not here. All right. Yeah, Michael P, what's up, man? Aloha. You missed that NVIDIA trade, man. We just ripped that thing. Rick, you think it's going to stay red because you're long? Oh, no. I'm long too right now, man. Netflix, Amazon, and NVIDIA, and of course the SPY, all call options that we're in the money on. So I'm not complaining, but I do think if we're going to make a push for all-time highs, it has to be either today or tomorrow. As soon as Wednesday hits, man, I think maybe this was my thesis this morning was I think we're going to see people taking some profits in like ahead of the Fed and then maybe try to push towards the close. So hence why the only reason why I'm looking at potential long opportunities, like I was looking at AVGO for a long, but I couldn't convince myself to buy it at $400. Boy, am I kicking myself now because it's at 403, right? Instead, I'm in this Amazon trade, even though it's small size, it's, oh well. But NVIDIA, I'm kind of going, man, I should have maybe grabbed shares, but I ended up grabbing options, which I'm not complaining because we're up now, what, 53% on these options. And I already took some off. So I do want to see if the market can pump a little bit, only because so like 685.70 would be a lovely overhead high to hit on the SPY. Trouble is it literally ran right into the VWAP and said no thanks, and now it's stuck on the 200. The same thing could be said for the Qs. So if we get a big violent push to the upside, big green bar, I think SPY's got a chance of running and getting up in that 689 print. Does it happen all by today? I don't know. But if you're going to do it before it's official. So the whole like buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. So today, maybe tomorrow would be the day, unless people just decide, hey, let's sell off until we know for sure, and then we can run it up. So that's kind of where my head's at, guys. I'm going to dump Amazon. This is just not doing what I wanted to, so I'm gonna call it a bad trade. Wait a minute. Right before I clicked, it's moving a little higher. Maybe get out a little bit better. I'll wait. Pretty cool. Right when I wanted to get out, it decides to move higher. I'll be patient then. Get out around break even or so. Thought we'd get a push, but we're not. So meanwhile, SPY on the Qs kind of rolling over a little bit. Let's be careful. All right, let's keep an eye on Hood. 136.84. See if we hold this area. Can't make this stuff up, guys. Look at this bouncing right off that level. If we start to aim lower, could be a problem for Hood, but let's see how real that little breakout was. Amazon, you are not my friend today. What else? What are you guys watching? Big reason, by the way, we take partials, even with options. Okay. I said 188 is where I want to see. Do you see the level we hit on NVIDIA so far on that big push? 188 on the dot. We were a little early to the party. I think we got pretty close. We used a market fill on those on the exit there for NVIDIA. It could totally get up. I would suggest that it probably gets in the 200s after that news. But there's got to be a lot of other things contributing to that, meaning the Qs have to start to participate. Money has to start flowing in versus out. And people have to decide, hey, maybe that's a catalyst to start buying stuff into the Fed meeting. Hopefully it is. But right now, we're not seeing that more broadly in the market. We're just seeing, names like Microsoft are up because they're selling off their advanced chip division to AVGO. We're seeing AVGO move higher because of that same news that came out here in the pre-market. And then names like Marvell, let me pull that back up. MRVL. What happened with this thing? Sure enough, right back to the VWAP area. Okay, Amazon, I'm done. No, thank you. You can know when I'm out to trade because you'll hear a click noise. Here it comes. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot, Amazon. All right, I don't think I'm gonna take any other trades. I've got these call options on NVIDIA, on SPY. Just dumped my Amazon position. I still am long Netflix, full share size. So if we start to break the low of session, I'm gonna give it $1,000. So I may end up down $1,000. But the good news is we made just over that on the NVIDIA move, which is pretty cool. To the NVIDIA move and the call options on SPY, no complaints. No complaints. Netflix again, I'd love it. I'd love $98. If we get anything over 98, that's a hero trade at that point. Good chance I may take an early partial if we get to 97.5. I really want it 97.74. Just look left. That was Friday's low. That's where I'd like to see that kind of fair value gap get filled, but there's no telling it will because that ancillary news of Warner Brothers could easily tank this thing down to 93.62 is the next level I have over below. And the fact that we cracked 97.74 Friday's low and 96.70 like it was nothing, there could be more downside to Netflix, which, I may end up taking that early partial just to make sure I bank some money. Like right now we're up, a little over $600. But anyway. Oh, sorry to hear that, Michael. Sorry to hear that, man. All right. Look, I came in late today, obviously, and I appreciate y'all being here. But I got to scoot. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do my best to be here like at the open. Might be 5 or 10 minutes early or late. But we just have a lot of stuff going on, especially after coming back from vacation. Some problems with the house. We had issues with the snow. Anyway, we're still here, and that's good. But we'll see how the day plays out on this Netflix trade and these call options on both NVIDIA and the SPY. At this point, they're just kind of runners. Like I've got my stop literally right at my entry. So worst case, we break even there. But Netflix could put a dent in my day. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't go lower. But we'll see you guys tomorrow at the open. Until then, cheers. God bless.